Now today, boys and girls, we've got the biggest transfer episode, January transfer episode this year. Obviously, you know, whatever, the jokes they're gone now. I know it's only been like a week or whatever, but this seriously is the biggest transfer video. We've got the second most expensive player ever in this episode, that's right, and then we've got other big Premier League transfers, global transfers, European transfers. We're gonna all fit it all in this video, basically. 6 players, it's just good, it's decent. Now I asked you guys in last night's video if you wanted to see this one today, drop a like and a thumbs up down below, and you actually smashed 4,000 likes in that video, which is absolutely insane. If you guys could do the same again in this one, that'd be brilliant. I've got a rumour episode coming out maybe tomorrow, it depends if you want it. And if you are looking at any custom controllers, GetGripped, there are some there for less than £40. Check them out in the description down below. That's right, custom controllers less than 40 quid. So I do think it's fair to say we should talk about and get into the first big important transfer, the first one of this episode, and it is of course Philippe Coutinho to Barcelona. Wow, it's finally happened. Everyone knew this was gonna happen. You know, everyone's been saying it for ages. He wanted to go in the summer, it didn't happen. Everyone thought he may stay to the end of the season. They didn't think it'd happen in January, but the deal has now been done. Now I do think this is gonna be like, you know, I'm not a Liverpool fan, I'm nowhere near a Liverpool fan, but I do think this is going to be a big loss for the Premier League, and it's going to be a bit devastating, to be honest. I think this guy's a brilliant player. He's an honour to have in our league. He's, you know, you can admire him and not be a Liverpool fan, basically. So, first of all, that's what I wanted to say. It is a big loss that he's gone for the league. But anyway, as you guys can see, Philippe Coutinho transferred to Barcelona, agreed. Liverpool confirmed. Barcelona confirmed. They tweeted out. I mean, it's obviously confirmed. Now, the clubs issue statements, okay, that over the £146 million deal. Let's talk about that first, alright? Second most expensive player ever behind Neymar. £146 million. Football's gone crazy, but I've got to be honest, Liverpool, I mean, that's brilliant money for them. They can reinvest that money, hopefully, and they can get some brilliant players for that. They also, I mean, they are going to miss him, obviously, but they've got players banging goals. Salah, obviously Mane, and obviously Firmino. They've got players banging goals, and hopefully they're not going to miss him too much. That's what Liverpool fans are hoping. I don't really care. Now, I'll give you guys a little sneak preview, okay, of the rumour episode coming out tomorrow. Lamar apparently is the guy lined up to replace Coutinho for, obviously, I don't know, £80 million or whatever. So they're still going to be, you know, £70 million up, £60 million up, whatever the fees are agreed, I don't know. And obviously have a brand new player to replace Coutinho. So now he signs a contract, I believe, till 2023. So that's a 5.5-year deal. Very big, almost the biggest contract you can get in football, 5.5 years. You don't really see 6 years too much. I think Zuma signed one recently for Chelsea last season, well, the end of last season. But other than that, 5.5 years, it's one of the biggest you can really get in football. Now, Sky Sports News actually reported earlier on the weekend, okay, that basically discussions between the two clubs have been underway for several weeks. Both the fee and payment schedules have been agreed, and a deal was closed. All right, we know that. But this is the big thing, you know, they've been discussing this for a few weeks now. He's been left out of the team for the last couple of games, and I think when people realised, you know, that he was left out of the team, that they thought, you know what, this is when he's probably going to go. He's not really injured. Liverpool come out and said he was injured, but he obviously really wasn't. Now both clubs have announced a deal, with Coutinho taking off on a private jet for Barcelona in the last hours, which I think we've seen on his Instagram, or we saw somewhere. Anyway, yeah, obviously every footballer has a private jet, obviously. But Barcelona say that the Brazilian will sign a 5.5-year deal, which we know, with a buyout clause of $354 million. So if any club wants to sign him at any point, they've got to pay $350 million to get him, which is, you know, would make him the most expensive player ever if he was to move. So yes, guys, that is the first player of the episode. Second biggest transfer we've ever seen in football. It is absolutely insane, absolutely huge. Coutinho, I wish him the best of luck at Barcelona. Secondly, we've got a player that's now moved from a Premier League club to another Premier League club, and we knew this was going to happen as well. He hasn't played a single minute of football this year. He went, well, okay, well, let me just talk about the player first, alright? Ross Barkley to Chelsea. You guys have probably all seen this. This is a big move, one of the biggest the last week. If it wasn't for Coutinho, then this might have been the biggest one. I know it's not big money, but it is big news. Now, he wanted to go there in the summer. I believe Tottenham were also interested in him. He went for a medical with Chelsea, but last minute he decided he didn't want to go to Chelsea, thought he'd stay at Everton. Well, since then he didn't play a single minute for Everton this year in the league or whatever. And now in January, of course, he's gone to Chelsea for £15 million. Now, midfielder Ross Barkley has described his £15 million move from Everton to Chelsea as unbelievable and a fresh start. So he signed a 5.5-year deal with, Okay, one second. So yes, that's right. The England international, 24 years of age, has also signed a 5.5-year deal, the same as Coutinho. So one of the biggest you can really get in football. That is a pretty big move. Barkley, who leaves Everton after 13 years at Goodison Park, has not played for 7 months because of a hamstring injury and has had surgery in August. So hopefully, I don't know when he can play next. Not really sure. But Conte Command said he's very young and has a lot of space for improvement. He's a good prospect, but at the same time, it will be very important to understand if the player signs, we must have patience to help him recover. So I guess he's not ready just yet. So this is it. Okay, this is pretty interesting. By waiting a few months, Chelsea have got their guy for half price because Barkley turned down a £30 million move to Stamford Bridge on transfer deadline day in August after rejecting a new deal at Everton. But with his Goodison contract expiring in the summer, he's now moved for £15 million less. So Chelsea, good bit of business. They told him to wait till January probably. That's why he turned it down maybe. I don't really know. We don't know the full story behind there. But of course, he's now been given a number 8 shirt, which is obviously worn by Frank Lampard and Oscar recently. So big number. He's got big feet to step in here. So Ross Barkley, one of the biggest transfers of this week. Huge news. Now we got a player next who's also moved from Everton, and today, this is 4 hours ago, brand new fresh news, so I thought I'd feature it. We've got Kevin Morales. He's gone to Olympiacos. Now Everton forward joins Olympiacos on loan for this season. Now it says here Everton forward Kevin Morales has rejoined Greek club Olympiacos on loan until the end of the season, so he's gone to the club he was previously at. Now the Belgian striker, 30 years of age, joined the Toffees from Olympiacos in 2012, so he's been there for quite a few years, which is pretty decent. Now he's only made 5 appearances this year and 3 as a substitute, so he's obviously felt like it's time to move on and time to go back to where obviously it all started for him. So that is another player that Everton have now lost. They've lost Kevin Morales, they've lost Ross Barkley this January transfer window. They have signed another player, which I'm going to feature probably next, which is, an interesting one. It's a player they probably do need, but they probably might need to replace a couple of these. I don't really know. But let's move into the third player now, which Everton have signed. Now he goes by the name of Cenk Tosun, alright? Now that is, hopefully I've pronounced that right. I don't really know. But they've signed this guy for £27 million, and apparently, this is what Sam Allardyce command said, Everton striker Cenk Tosun is best in Europe at his price. So he's the best in Europe for, less than £30 million apparently. Now the club actually announced the deal during half-time of their FA Cup third round against City rivals Liverpool, which they actually did go on to lose, and that the Turkish international agreed a 4.5-year contract. So once again, another big contract in this episode. They've all been big so far. Now apparently Tosun had actually been in London awaiting permission to complete his move. Now Allardyce actually came out and said this lad looks like he is strong mentally and has a good pedigree. Now apparently the deal has been delayed as Tosun's previous club Besiktas held out for more than, well basically they wanted more money for him, so they held out for it. So it's obviously pretty obvious that Everton have needed a striker for a little while now. They signed this guy, which is, I think he's one of the highest goal scorers in Turkish league as well. He won the league last year, I believe, with them too. So he's a very, very good striker. Apparently, like Allardyce said, he's the best for his price. So Everton, doing some crazy transfer business, selling players, buying players as well for good money. Good players. And yeah, that's probably enough Everton for this episode. Now, what's interesting about next one is someone actually went to China recently. A big player, of course. One of the biggest, well, probably one of the most well-known players from the Premier League or whatever. But anyway, we've got Carlos Tevez. Now, he's moved to Boca Juniors after an unsuccessful spell with Shanghai Shenhua. Now, it says here, Carlos Tevez has returned to Argentine club Boca Juniors after an unsuccessful spell with Chinese Super League side Shanghai Shenhua. I've probably pronounced that wrong. The former Manchester United and Man City forward joined Shanghai in December 2016 in a deal worth a reported £40 million. So not too long ago, they paid £40 million for him. Now, what's crazy is this is Tevez's third spell at his boyhood club. So he's been at that club 3 different times. Has any club, let's just talk about this for a second. Has any player anywhere been at a club 3 times? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comment section down below. I do not have a clue, but he may be the first ever to do it. You guys can let me know. So there's not really too much to talk about this transfer, really. Obviously, this happened yesterday. He's moved. Obviously, he's no longer going to be playing in China. And still, Boca Juniors are probably paying him a good wage, but he won't be on anything like he was getting in China. But maybe they're fed up with him, or maybe he's fed up with them. I don't really know the circumstances. We're not really getting a lot of information here. But anyway, there you go. Carlos Tevez is now moved once again to a club he's been at 3 times. It's pretty insane stuff. Now, for last player in this episode, I featured a player that's, what's that? Is that a bit of hair? That is a bit of hair. What is going on there? But anyway, I featured a player now who's, it's actually quite interesting because the clubs he's been at Corinthians, CSK Moscow, Man City, Everton, Galatasaray, Inter Milan, and he's been around the block in, obviously, in Brazil too. But it's actually Joe. Do you remember him? Well, he's actually moved to another club, Japanese league team now, for still £10 million. So this guy, at 30 years of age, been around the block, he's still selling for £10 million. I just thought I'd feature that because it's pretty insane stuff. Now, I don't know how you pronounce it. Nagoya Grampus. It's a Japanese league team. I don't really know a lot about them, but anyway, they've announced the signing of him for £10 million, which is, you know, absolutely insane. So I don't know a player that's probably played in, you know, all around the world. He's played in Brazil, played in Russia, he's played in obviously Europe, he's played in loads of places. He's played in the Middle East, he's played in China, he's now played in Japan. I mean, this guy really has been around the block, and Joe is still fetching money. I just can't believe £10 million, but there you go. I thought I'd feature him in the video. So there you go, guys. I've actually changed my hat because that one was hurting my head. But anyway, I'm going to leave my final thoughts and opinions on all 6 of these transfers now, but they are the 6 from this episode, and we've got, you know, some absolutely huge ones. So to start it off, then we got Coutinho to Barcelona, obviously second most expensive player ever. I think that's a brilliant transfer for Liverpool. I think it's a brilliant transfer for Barcelona, and obviously it's a brilliant one for him because it's someone he's wanted now for ages, and I think all parties can probably be happy with that deal. He played a few months in Liverpool this season as well. He could have gone in the summer. He gave 100%. Everyone's got to be happy with that. Then we got Barkley to Chelsea. Now, I mean, we knew that was going to happen at some point. He wasn't playing for Everton. That would nearly happened in the summer. Chelsea, I think, got the best bit of the deal here. By waiting a few months, they've saved £15 million. So Chelsea got the real deal out of this. Everton should have got rid of him in the summer for 30 mil. Then we got Morales to Olympiacos. Obviously feels like his game time at Chelsea's, well, it's non-existent. He's not going to get it. And he's gone back to a club he's been previously at, Olympiacos. So good luck to him. Probably won't really hear much from him now, to be fair. Then we got Carlos Tevez to Boca Juniors, a team that he's been at three times now, which is absolutely insane. Probably won't hear much, you know, about him for a few years now. Got hiccups as well coming. Then we got Joe, and I can't believe he's still selling for £10 million. I don't even know why I featured in this episode, just because how shocked I was. Japanese league team. Yes, good luck to him. You know, I guess. Then we got Tosun to Everton. Everton, good bit of business there. £27 million these days for a top striker in Europe is not really big money, and they probably got him for cheap. Hopefully, he can start banging goals for him because that's what they need. So yeah, there you go, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, drop a like and a thumbs up down below. Let's get 4,000 likes. I'm out. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. Peace.